All right, on this episode of Free Art School for Everyone, am I even allowed to do this? Can I go to jail? Because I'm pretty much giving away free info to everyone when I paid thousands and thousands of dollars in order to learn this in art school. Is it even allowed? I don't know. Well, you should definitely subscribe to the channel because I'm giving away all this gold for nothing, really. But who cares? So these are the tools that I use in order to make my sculptures. Now these tools have definitely changed over time as I have progressed as an artist. I used to not use any tools, and then I used a lot of tools, and now I mainly only use 2 tools for 98% of my work. Now I do a form of sculpting called additive sculpting, which is where I put clay on the surface in order to make the sculpture. This is different from subtractive sculpting, which would be something like carving a sculpture from a block of marble. I'm removing material in order to make that sculpture. This is different from ceramics, which has wheel throwing, and also hand building in ceramics is different than this as well, but it could kind of be classified into it. My form of sculpture would be in the same realm as bronze sculptures. So before that sculpture is bronze, they have to build clay on an armature, and then they would make a mold out of it and then cast it in bronze. I'm not going to go into the molds and the bronzes and in fact the armature either, because I only use armatures for very special situations when I'm making a larger scale piece. These are the 2 tools that I use that I can practically accomplish 90% of my work with. And the first one is a pocket knife. Now I was one of those people that just didn't believe in a pocket knife for the longest time. I just didn't understand the reason to have one. And then I bought one, and I bought one for the dumbest reason. I bought one because I just wanted to fidget with something. When I was growing up, I always had some clay in my hands, and that's what I would use to fidget. And then it kind of became silly just carrying clay around all the time, which I still do. So I bought the pocket knife to stop that from happening, but I still carry clay around, but the knife has just been added to that formula. Now, I use this knife just like how most people use pocket knives to open Amazon packages. It is a great tool for this, but I never could have dreamed what it could do for my sculptures. This single knife has pretty much replaced 75% of the tools that I used to use. I no longer need a wire cutter because I just cut large chunks of clay off with this knife. The point is also great for adding detail to pieces. Now, there is a drawback with the blade. When it comes to adding detail, I can't do certain things that I could do with a pin tool. But yeah, this knife has pretty much replaced most of my sculpting arsenal. And it's just incredibly fun to have around in my pocket and stuff. And it makes me feel safer in the streets of Los Angeles because I can use it to smooth clay with the flat part of the blade. And see, the sharp part of the blade is super, super flat. The other part of the blade kind of comes out and is a little bit, has some height to it, which allows me to add, I can use the edges of the back side of the blade to add various different textures as well. And the grip is also textured, which allows me to add different textures onto the clay surface as well. If you see a lot of my work, some of which is gonna pop up on screen, my work is very, very detail orientated. If I'm making a face or something, I go to the pore level, and this knife has been a great resource for me. And then the second tool I use is a double-sided pin tool. Double-sided, this side is flat, and then this side is a little bit sharp. Now, again, if I have the knife, why do I need this? Well, this has a different point than the knife. It kind of has a softer taper to the edges of the blade than the knife does. I don't know if you guys can see that. Now, this is great, especially for wrinkles in the skin and hair. So the blade of the knife, since it is so wide, the face of it is so wide, I have to be very subtle with it if I want to add realistic textures, because textures on your skin and wrinkles on your skin, depending on your age, don't really go that deep, and the knife tends to cut very deep. Because this is more aggressively tapered than the flat part of the knife, the lines it makes in the clay have a greater fall off, and it kind of is like a groove rather than a cut. It's very hard to explain. I'm gonna try to put some B-roll over me talking about this, just so you guys can understand it a little bit better. But yeah, this is pretty much why I use this tool. Also, the flat part allows me to soften and flatten clay in like small areas, which can be pretty useful for my pieces, especially because I work in like the small to medium scale of sculptures. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Those are the only two tools I use. Just a quick little video, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I have worked in the other kinds of sculpture as well, so if you guys have questions about those, I'll probably make a video on them. I'm not as experienced as I am with the type of sculpting that I do, but like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified the next time I drop a video, and as always, have a great night. Bye.